Hi, Troy here from Edmonton Lucid Dreaming again. And just further to that Tenet dream, it's a little bit connected. So last night I had my very first dream that I remembered. It was called the Tree Tribe Snuggle, I called it. I was just awareness in this one. And basically there's these Tree Tribe people. Winter was coming and they were swinging from trees, and they were going into this kind of rock chasm. It was in the dark and it was jungle. And this is a lame recreation because this doesn't look natural at all. But you can kind of see these tree people. So they were swinging from trees, and then they started over on this side, on the right side, and that came in first. And every time they got into their position to hibernate for winter, and they were wrapped in this like woolly mammoth or whatever fur or something, and they wrapped it tight like this. So every time they got in, they kept going. They would chant snuggle. So like they'd go in, snuggle, 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 and it was really weird. And so after this dream, at 2 or 3 in the morning by then, I was thinking, what the heck could this mean? And I was like, well, I'm like, how many tribe members were there? I was trying to think. I'm like, 8? No. I'm like, I think there was just a little bit more. So I'm like, maybe like 10. And then I started thinking about 10, and because of yesterday's dreams. And then I was thinking, well, 10. I'm like, well, this is getting weird. And I'm like, and then I started thinking, well, what does this mean? And then, I just got diagnosed with a fractured right 10th rib. So it's my 10th rib down here, and it's fractured, and it's kind of the power of a phrase that you hear in your waking life. One of my friends said that I should wrap it, and I was like, nah, doctor didn't tell me that. So I was thinking about this dream, and then so if you look here, so if the first tribe person goes, he's the first one on the right, then the second one on the right, then the third, then you go to the 10th right. So it's kind of like saying, you could almost interpret it like the 10th, like wrap the 10th right rib, kind of. So I was like, oh, I'm like, so I thought of what my friend said a couple of days ago about wrapping my 10th right rib. And I was like, okay, so maybe this weird tribal jungle dream was trying to just maybe either telling me to wrap it or just reminding me of what my friend said in the waking life. Then I started thinking of the Tenet dream yesterday, and I was kind of thinking, so how ribs work, you can come look. So how ribs work, like here's like how the ribs are, and so number 10, so this is the one that I have that's fractured right now. And then I was kind of thinking of Tenet, so you can kind of see Tenet itself is like 10, but kind of like connected like ribs, kind of, if you can picture that. And so with the whole Tenet dream, and in the dream I was flying down. That dream I was lucid. This new one I wasn't. But in the Tenet dream I flew down, and then I kept like wrapping the same scene over and over and over again. And every time it looked like I was going straight down, but it kept going at a right degree angle. And so it's almost like it was wrapped. And with Tenet, there was like the 10, and then also it was always at a right angle, a perfect right angle. So it's almost, you can kind of squeeze it in there to say like the right 10th rib and wrapped, because it just kept wrapping. Then I thought of the dream right before that, and so this is 3 dreams in a row, 2 from last night that ended up yesterday morning, and then my first one of last night, I guess, if that makes sense. So 2 nights ago and then last night. So 3 dreams in a row. Then the very first dream was with my birth mother giving me that $10 bill, and then I put it in my wallet. So if you were to probably look in a dream dictionary, I'm sure mother would be about support, and ribs would be support. So maybe in that first dream I was supposed to know that, oh, well, my mother is support. That can be my rib. She gave me a $10 bill, and she gave it to my right hand. So it's the right 10th rib. And I put it in my wallet, so maybe it was either wrapped in my wallet, so maybe I should wrap it, or a mother can also be called a mummy, And a mummy in Egyptian ways can mean wrapped. So there's two different ways that you can think about wrapping the right 10th rib. And yeah, so I just thought, so dreams, they seem to be multidimensional. That one middle dream seemed to be mainly about Tenet. Actually, they all seem to be about, those two seem to be about Tenet, sort of. And then, which was a great gift. And then, but then there's also this new thing where just the power of one phrase that my friend said, wrap that rib. All of a sudden I had these three very, very different dreams that all seemed to connect. And yeah, and I was always obsessed with three. The very first place I looked, I bought this 20 years ago, and it just had a 3 on it, so I just bought it. And yeah, so I'm always connected with threes. And like even you watch The Matrix, you see 3 appearing everywhere on like doorways and just weird things when you start noticing synchronicities. And yeah, just that dreams are multi-dimensional and everything seems connected in a strange, synchronous way.